Okay, you guys, I'm going to make this video. It might be choppy because I might pause it in my work, but I am ashamed to say I've had two SmartDolls waiting to be like a part of my SmartDoll family for forever, and I'm really ashamed that I haven't done anything about it. It's these two right here. Yeah, a blue boy and a cocoa boy. I am so ashamed that I have not done anything with them. I've had the cocoa boy since October of last year and the blue boy since November of last year. Might have been the other way around, but I think that's right because I just checked my old videos of when I got them. Now I'm at least able to say I did do the trimming of all the body parts, but haven't even attempted to put the frames together. I did watch a couple of videos here or there, but it's been a while since I looked at them. And so I have CJ here. I mean, he was put together and assembled by SmartDoll, and so I figure I can use him as a model to put my kits together. I have Culture Japan painted blue boy head for the blue body. The cocoa body, I have a couple of blank heads, and then I have one head out with an artist. And the reason that I'm kind of prompted to do this is because my artist let me know that my heads are going to be starting to be worked on soon, and so they'll probably be coming back soon. And so it would be nice to have bodies to put the heads on. I'm going to, I don't know, just try to see what I can do about assembling these things and making this video as I go. So it'll probably jump a little bit because I'm going to pause it in between the work that I do and assembly, because I don't want to make a really super long video because I probably will take forever to do this. But I'm doing it now because I have an hour of free time. I woke up early today, and so hopefully I can get something done here. I just want to say, I think one of the reasons that I hesitated in putting these together was, although I was, there's a foot inside of his abdomen, is because although most of these pieces had you know, like the cut lines so you know where to cut to make the openings, there were a few pieces where I wasn't totally sure what to do, and so I stopped and I never got back to it. For example, the you know, the mark for the arm sockets, obviously they're open so that the arms can get in, but I've never done much with CJ here, so I don't really know the workings. Same with the leg openings, and I'm super fearful of where the heck the stand hole should go, because from my understanding you have to put the stand pin in to make the body secure and all one piece for the skeleton on the inside. It's kind of like a pin to keep it all together. So and then there's even a couple other things. I think these are the forearms probably, or maybe the shins, but I didn't even make these cuts here. If you can see, there's like different lines, so I'm not really sure where to cut on those. So I'm going to kind of use CJ as a guide and reference back some of my videos that I was looking at and see if I can finally put these things together. I have a glass of water. I have, that's for me to drink because it's warm, and I have my handy hair dryer so I can put some heat on these things, and an X-Acto knife, and all the parts that came with the kits. So hopefully I can do something and make two more SmartDolls. And my goodness, if I get these two together, I might, I don't know what my total count is. It might be 20 now, maybe 21. That's a lot. I might need to slim down my collection. I don't know. And so many floating heads. Whew. Okay, so I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to see what I can do about starting the assembly, and then I will unpause it as my work continues on. All right, so I put feet together. Yay! I am realizing that the cuts that I did a while back, like in January, aren't perfect, and I accept that. I mean, it's a kit, so it's not going to be perfection like it would be from SmartDoll. But I was just watching a video to help me reference what to do exactly, and they said one of the easiest things to do is to start with the hands and feet because that's like instant gratification of getting parts together. So I definitely used high heat on my hair dryer and blew on them for a few seconds. My fingers were starting to get really hot, but you just take the parts of the hand, or the parts that these joints basically, and they just slipped right in, kind of like the foot was a sock, and then the joints were like the feet, so they just slipped right in, and it was very easy with heat. Without heat, I tried it on low heat first, and it didn't get warm enough, so I did it on high heat for like 20 seconds, and then slipped them right in. I probably should have recorded putting them in, but the hands aren't going to be that as exciting, but I don't even know if it's worth it to put them on, because I mean, it is the first time these hands will be put on something, but these are just like changing hands on and off. Oh, look, I did it. I put a hand on. So I suppose, though, I may have to take these parts out to assemble like the arms and the forearms. So I guess my cut was good enough that I was able to put the hands on correctly. Although now I wonder if I put the right hand on the right arm frame. Looks like it. So I was trying to kind of set out my pieces so that I have it kind of like an assembly here where I'm going to put them together. But I'm not exactly sure if I have everything correct. So, all right, what did I do here? Let's see. I did the hand here. Oh, I already took the piece out and was putting it in the forearm to see how it looked, and I was realizing my cuts are not like perfect, but it's okay. I'm not that worried about it. So the thing with the boy hands is I don't have any alternate hands, so I guess it doesn't really matter if they're perfectly cut or not, because I mean they slipped over fairly easily, even though the hole looked really small. I'm not going to be changing them, so I guess unless I put like some of the combat or like the gloved hands on there. But here we go, hands and feet assembled. Woo! Okay, I'm gonna continue on and see how far I can get into the rest of this. Okay, so I just want to show you guys, I just warmed up these two pieces. They're very, very flexible. This is the upper arm, and I just wanted to show you how it looks actually sliding a piece on. So as you can see, this joint is much bigger than this opening, but when it's warm like this, it should squeeze right in. So it's going right in, right? I think, yeah, and then once it gets up to the top, then you can see that the plug is kind of coming in there. And now, voila, I have my forearm like my CJ's. CJ's is the macho arm or whatever, so that's why it looks so much more ginormous. But as you can see, same thing, right? I was really thinking about which way these frames went, because the only difference is there's two screws on the back and one screw on the front, and I decided that it had to be the one screw on the front facing to make sense to me, because it looks like I do need to do just a little bit more of a push. So on the frames of the arms, there's like notches there. Maybe it's a little bit more visible there. See that notch? That actually has to poke out through the top of the skin so that the piece stays where it's supposed to. So I just did that. I did a little push, and now my arm is movable, and it should go into the body cavity nicely once I actually cut a hole there. So yay, now I have the upper arm assembled. The lower arm, I haven't cut the slot yet because I still can't decide what I need to cut there. I don't know what notches I'm supposed to cut. Am I supposed to cut that whole little rectangle out? Am I only supposed to cut the middle rectangle? I don't know. And even though I have an arm here to look, I can't get this off. And that's probably because of the notches, right? Because there's notches on the lower forearm too. So I might actually warm this arm up and take a look at it to see what I have to cut, and then proceed from there so I can get this lower arm on here. And I did have this warmed up, but now it already cooled down. I should have put this other one on. So back to the hairdryer. Okay, so I did just pop the other upper arm on. So now I have two upper arms, which I'm pretty proud of. I guess that's a start, right? But I tried to warm this up and I can't get it apart. There are notches, but they're not impossible. I don't know. I have no idea. Anybody know? Where do you make the cut on this rectangle? Do you cut the whole thing out? The middle thing? The end things? It doesn't really make sense to me. But when I look at it, I feel like I mean, it's the only one that had multiple lines inside of it. That's the only reason I didn't cut this, because I didn't know where to cut. My little tutorial here is not gotten to the arms yet. So I'm watching a tutorial and I'm showing you guys. This is not a tutorial. This is just me building because I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm going to pause it again and see if I can find more information about it. Okay, I still can't figure out what to cut. I looked around for a video again, trying to figure out what I need to cut in the forearm there. So I took to Facebook and posted a question. Maybe somebody will get back to me. In the meantime, I wanted to put the lower arm or lower leg frame into the lower leg. And I also had a question, again, what side is inside and what side is outside? I'm making the assumption that the outside is going to be the Mirai. Like you can see there's Mirai printed there. And the inside is the screws. Not that anybody's going to see these, but I am going on I think that's what makes sense to me. So I heated this leg up, but I might need to do it some more because this is tough. Oi. Yeah, I might need to warm this up a little bit more. The joint here is much larger than the opening, but of course there's plenty of room up at the top, so I'm going to warm this up a little bit more and try to put this in again. I want to do that on video so you guys can see that. Okay, warmed it up some more. We're going to try this again. So this is almost there. Almost. Okay. Almost got it. There we go. Now I just have to shove it up far enough. Now the nice thing about that is that it clicked right in. There's like little like, I don't know what you call that, like a little step or a lock piece, so that it pops right out the top of the cut in the leg, and then you know it's not going to fall back in, and you get that nice joint there. And what is super fantastic, now I have the lower left leg, so I should be able to put my my left foot on to the peg here. So you can see what it looks like put together. Ta-da! I have a lower leg. Woohoo! I am like super impressed with people who have put together tons of these kits, because I'm struggling so much already, and I've obviously put it off for so long because I'm just like fearful that I don't know what the heck I'm doing. It's kind of like a puzzle, and I'm sure there are really fabulous tutorials out there. I know there was one that I saved on Instagram. They did the whole recording, and it took like I think it was like an hour-long video. I think they had the flashing cut. Maybe they didn't. But at any rate, no, they didn't, because they had their hairdryer with them. So I was trying to find that one, but I can't find it. I saved the link. I know I did, but anyway, I'm going to keep going with this, and hopefully this will not be too jagged and weird of a video. Again, this is just me struggling along with this, not really a tutorial because I barely know what I'm doing. But I do hope that it will be helpful if somebody wants to watch it to put together their own kit that they've been putting off, because it is possible. Just have to be patient and look around for some help if you need it. So I'm hoping Facebook, though, I post up to Facebook the question about this forearm, so I'm hoping that somebody can give me the help on that, and let me know where I need to cut. So hopefully that'll be soon, and then I can put the arms completely together. I'm gonna pause this and keep on working. All right, still waiting on a response from anybody on Facebook. Help me! I'm trying to figure out this forearm. But I warmed up my other lower leg, so I'm gonna pop the other frame in there. I think I warmed it up pretty good. Just gotta squeeze that through. And then the top part comes out. I do believe, let's see. There we go. I like that it has those notches there so that you know that you have it correctly assembled. So there is my lower right leg, right? Yeah. And here is my right foot. So just pop those together. I am contemplating getting like the cyborg, or the, not the cyborg, but the like medical lower leg that's like, you know, supposed to look like metal or whatever, and I would definitely be curious to see how it would put together, because I do want to get one eventually. So just doing this part, you know, now I feel like, well, at least I have some idea of the inner workings of this. I'm trying to get this one leg to stand. I guess it doesn't do very well without the rest of its body to keep it balanced. Anyway, so there's my two legs, right? Two lower legs, they're put together. I'm pretty satisfied with that work. I have the upper arms assembled, and I'm just trying to figure out what to cut on the two forearms. I might just cut the inner rectangle on these on one and see how it fits. And if it doesn't fit, then I'll know my answer, because I'm waiting on Facebook. I know people are out there. But if I don't get an answer soon, I want to keep working on this. So I'm going to pause and warm these up and cut at least one inner rectangle here and see how that goes. Alright, I wasn't really intending to do any flashing cutting here, but I do have these pieces that need to be cut. So I am, again, just going to go with the tiny little inside rectangle here and see what that does as far as the placement of the forearm. So man, I haven't done flashing cutting in so long. I feel really out of practice with it. Of course, that's not something to do very often if you don't have vinyl kits to put together. The most practice I got was when I was cutting all of my chaos blank heads. It took me quite a while because I actually made a pretty long video on that. But these pieces, I ended up cutting these at work, and it really worked because the desks that we sit at work have little individual heaters, so I was able to just put the pieces by the individual heater, and then I would take them up, pick them up, and cut them up. It worked really well. Alright, so this little piece is giving me such trouble here. Almost there. It's like hanging on a thread. There we go. Okay. So here I cut. You can see there's still those 2 notches. I know it's not a perfectly smooth cut, but I'm okay with that because it's hidden anyway. I'm going to see if that is where it's supposed to be cut. I really don't know. So I'm going to, actually I don't even think I'll have to heat this up very much. Well, because you would be sliding the forearm on, like this peg is going to go through that little slot. The reason that I'm thinking that it is supposed to be just that small square is because then these notches on the peg here are like about that size. So if you did the bigger slot, then it would be loose, I think. So I'm going to warm this up and see if I can shove the peg through the smaller rectangle slot. Okay, heat it up. Let's see how this goes. Just going to shove it on through and see what happens. Okay, so I slid the peg through the smaller rectangle opening, and the notches that are on there cut very well, and it's not coming apart, which is exactly the trouble I was finding with using CJ as reference. I can't get it apart because the notches keep it. I mean, you would think even heating it up enough, you could probably pull it back apart. But it's like locked in there pretty well. I would guess the only way that you really could get it apart fully is to like superheat it and maybe squeeze it a little bit. So I'm gonna stick with just the inner rectangle. Now let's see if I can bend this fully. So you get the same range of motion there, and it's still like you can pull it down to get that without it like crushing the upper arm, and you can shove it back up. You know, if my cuttings aren't perfect, I'm okay with that. I mean, this is my kit. I've had it for a really long time, and I'd rather just put it together than wait longer than, you know, who knows when I might be inspired. So now I'm going to put the hand on and see how this goes, see how it looks. So there is my left arm fully assembled. So I'm doing pretty good. I don't know, you know, I definitely could do a little bit better with like trimming off, but I'm just happy to finally be getting this guy together. So I'm going to cut the other forearm the same way. I'm just going to do the inner rectangle, just a smaller, tiny little piece. So I'm going to heat that up, and then I'll put it together. Alright, so heat it up again, and once again I'm just going to cut that inner rectangle here with my X-Acto knife. And if anybody answered me on Facebook while I've been making this video, thank you. I did wait a few minutes, but I didn't get an instant answer, which is okay. I'm just barreling through anyway. I'm just going to see what happens. It is kind of satisfying to put these together. Like, I mean, I know I'm going to be super happy when I have them actually all together, but like, it's satisfying to do the work on it and seeing it come together. Alright, let's see if I can get this little piece out here. So, again, for anyone curious, if you still have your kits, after doing all the basic flashing cutting on the lower arms, the forearms, there's like markings for like 3 little squares. Just do the inner rectangle. At least that's what I'm recommending, because I put it on the frame and it works just fine. Alright, let's see if we can get this off of here. here's the inner frame. You can see I still have those two little squares. And I have to heat this up. Even though I heated it up just to make that cutting, I'm going to heat it up again so I can put the peg into that small little rectangle. So let me pause so you guys don't have to hear the hairdryer. Alright, it's opened up, or it's warmed up I should say, and I'm just going to slide this peg right in here. And then I'm going to have to pause this because my kiddo's bus just pulled up. Alright, so slid in, locked on, and I'm going to pause this and I'll be right back. Okay, so a couple people did answer me on Facebook. They said that you're supposed to cut out the full hole. I did not. I just went ahead and did what I thought was right. Of course, it was wrong. But I can always go back and change that later, and it seems to be functioning just fine. My kiddo is just off screen, so hopefully he won't be too distracting. But now I have my forearms, or my arms completely together, so that's good. I gotta help my kid. He's saying help. Okay, so the next step might be not the best suggestion either, but I don't know what else to do. So I want to put the frame, inside. I might even have to make the neck hole bigger, but on the arms there is a tiny little dot that's like the center point, right? And I have no idea where to cut, so what I'm going to do is take this thing, the spine, and I'm just going to put it in there and trace around it with pencil. I know, drawing without sealing, it's a pencil. I figure I can erase it. And again, it's going to be hidden by the arm joint. So I'm going to do that and see how that looks. That's my child making noise off screen because that's just how he is. All right, so I feel like it kind of just sits right in there. The thing of it is, you actually have to cut bigger than this. So this is going to just be a guide for me, I guess. And I can't even do it very well. It's not the easiest thing to trace, but I do have kind of some guideline marks in there. So I'm going to try to cut it and see how it goes. I'm going to warm it up too. Okay, so I popped the spine through the neck hole. It fits. That's fine. Here's my cut. As you can see, it's not a beautiful, perfect circle. And I feel like I might actually need to cut a little more up at the top. I feel like I did this a little bit too low. But to test it, let's just see. I didn't cut the other side yet, so let's see what it looks like. Oh, why is it popping out of there? It's not being very friendly. Okay. Guess I got to make sure to squeeze the top there so it doesn't pop out. Okay, I don't know why it keeps doing this, but those little ridges are not catching and keeping the forearm like up there. So I have to see if I can squeeze this a little bit better. Okay, so I pushed it on. It seems to look how it would look. Functions pretty good. Looks pretty decent. I didn't cut more, I didn't trim more, so maybe I'll just leave it. Pretty satisfied. I mean, it works. It looks okay on the inside so far. So I'm going to try to do the other cut, which means I'm probably going to take this other arm off, but maybe I'll just keep it. I don't know. I'm going to do another trace with, well, actually, I will have to if I want to trace the frame cup on the outside. So let's take it back apart. Okay, so I traced again. You can see my little circle in there. I got a little smudge on the outside, but that's okay. It's pencil. It'll come off. I'm going to warm this up and try to cut it and put the arms on both sides. Okay, I warmed it up. I'm going to try to make my cuts here. This one I actually drew a better circle on, but I also feel like I drew it lower than the other one. So I'm kind of just making it up here. Of course, if you do too small, then you may not be able to get the socket to be visible for the arm to actually connect to. Alright, there's my hole cut. Again, not a perfect circle, but let's see how it does with the frame. Okay, so I'm just going to put the frame back in and make sure that the back piece is facing towards the back. So the neck peg goes nicely through. You can see the joint there. I mean, it's kind of hidden a little bit because my circle's not perfect. And again, there, it's there. So let's see if I can connect the arms in. Alright, so left arm. Again, I would say I probably cut these slots too big because the peg keeps slipping through. But you know what? Live and learn. Alright. Now it is proving difficult because it is slipping through the arms. Alright. I'm going to try my best here. Okay, I'm going to do this off screen because it's not going well for me. Hold on. Okay, so I'm having a heck of a time putting the two arms on together. Either I need to make the sockets bigger or I don't know what, but as you can see, with one arm in, like the frame is way far away from the other arm, like nowhere near. And if I squeeze this other arm in, all this piece does is falls into the upper arm. In fact, it's that way now. It's not staying locked with that little notch. It's really difficult. I can't get it to work. I think I need to cut these holes bigger, but I'm worried, like, how big do I need to go? Because it seems like the shoulders almost have to sink in a little bit. Like you can see now, there's like this gap here, and I'm trying to like keep it as shoved in as I can so that I can connect the other arm over here, but it's just nowhere close. Like I can't even, it's not even reaching. It's like these pegs aren't long enough, or I just need to make these holes bigger so that the arms sit further into the chest here. So I'm going to try some more finagling here and see if I can get this to work. Okay, I finally got the arms in. It really took some effort, and I definitely widened the hole that I had cut into the socket. I might even still, because I feel like with the two arms in, it's making, see how the bust looks like funky shaped, like it's like kind of squished off to one side, like it should be, I don't know, like flat like that, but it's like going off like that. So I don't know. I did get a response to my question in the Facebook group, and I cut it wrong. Of course I cut it wrong, but I could still fix it if I want, but I think I'm just going to leave it because I'm okay with it for now. And I don't know if I'm going to have to take these arms back off to like assemble this part. But I did see, I actually got the link for the one Chaos Kit assembly. It's Division 53 dolls on Instagram. She answered my question, and I'm actually watching her video right now. So I now know I need to cut out just the whole entire thing here, I guess there is guides. I don't know why I didn't do this earlier, but this is going to take quite a bit of cutting because there is like extra flashing on the inside that I'm going to have to trim away. So I'm going to heat this up and then make the cuts. And then I'm also discovering and watching her video that my cuts at the top, I followed very closely to the guidelines, but I've actually seen a couple of videos now where they say to actually cut bigger than the guidelines because you have to get this little hole over this ginormous hip socket, or hip joint, I should say. So I may have to trim these as well. So I'm going to heat these things up and do the trimmings and come back and show you how that goes. I'm guessing it is possible I might need to take this apart so that I can line this piece up, maybe. I don't know. I'm really worried about cutting this part because there's absolutely no guide, except there's kind of an indentation, so I'm hoping that's kind of where it ends up being, because that's kind of what it looks like there. It's like right centered into the indentation, so we'll see. So I only have a few more cuts to go, and then hopefully I will finally have this blue boy put together. And then poor CJ here, who is, you know, being my science project at the moment, will finally have some fellow guys to hang out with. But the other kit I'm not even gonna make a recording for because this is taking me forever. I'm already at 36 minutes, so if you've stuck with me this long, I appreciate it. Again, warning, this is not a tutorial. This is just me trying to put together this kit. So thanks for watching, and I'm gonna keep going with it, okay? Alright, I heated these up, so I'm going to try to cut along here. I don't think I will record this entire cut because this is a big section. And as I discovered in watching that tutorial, I will definitely have to work to trim away a few parts, but oh shoot, I just lost where my cut was at. Oopsie. I would say I find it easier to trim like pulling the knife towards me instead of away from me. I don't know if that helps anybody. I guess you gotta find what works for you, but yeah, they did mention in their tutorial there is a lot of flashing, like the way that it's molded on the inside. Probably don't want to put your knife super deep into there because then you might cut the other side of the body. You guys even see, I'm doing this like down in my lap. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, that's tough right there. It's probably just the, you know, the shape of the mold. There is extra flashing there. And I'm almost having to do this like sawing motion. But I might need to heat it up some more because I got it pretty well cut, but down here towards the back it's a little bit tougher. So I'm going to heat this up some more and try to cut this off screen so you guys don't have to sit here and watch me struggle with this. Okay, so I've really been taking my time and rewatching the videos here. I widened my hip sockets, joints, whatever. I might have to widen them still more to get them over these suckers here. And then I did cut out my leg holes there for the bottom of the body. I tried my best to trim up the extra flashing that's on the inside, so hopefully that will be okay. I have to really heat these up to get them over this, so it's going to be a little while. I'm still wondering exactly if this is the best because it looks wonky to me, but I'm still watching the video as I'm heating these things up, so I'm hoping that I'll figure that out from somebody who is definitely better at this than me. So I'm continuing on. OMG, you guys. Got one leg on. I definitely had to heat it for quite a while. My poor kiddo hates the sound of my hair dryer, so he ran away and he's hiding in his bedroom right now. Still following along with this very helpful, very handy tutorial by Division 53 Dolls on Instagram. Still following, so hopefully I'll be able to put him all together here shortly and show you the guys the end result. Okay, y'all. I carved in my hole for my spine peg, and it does fit. I was able to get it in. There we go. I haven't completely put them together all the way yet, but SmartDoll Land release announcements just posted that they're going to be doing a release, so I might have to stop this video here and then, I don't know, show the end result later. I don't know. I want this to be all together, so I'm going to try to pause this and then maybe just look on my phone. But I did do a bunch more carving, and I was really proud of myself for getting that one leg on, so hopefully I can do the other one pretty easily and then put it all together here. So thanks for continuing to watch my saga. Okay, y'all, I got his legs on. I'm just really hoping where I cut the port hole is the best. I don't know. I hope I did good there. And I hope that I got his legs on as fully as they need to be on. But hey, I guess I got the hard part done. So I'm also watching the SmartDoll website now because of the drop that's coming. Okay, you guys, look, I have the legs and he stands. It's a miracle. I just had to do this last part of putting the spine in, putting the peg in, and then reattaching his bust. So I'm pretty excited. I'm almost done here. I'm so excited. Okay, you guys, I got him together, but I couldn't get the pin in. I stupidly thought that I could use the stand as kind of a handle to help push it in, and now I have the back port thing stuck on here. I'm probably gonna have to use a wrench or something to get it off, and I can't quite get it in. I can get it lined up where I cut, and I can get the spine lined up, but I can't. I just can't. Somebody on the tutorial I was following, they suggested using a little bit of grease, and I'm probably gonna have to take this apart with a wrench and then use the grease to try to get back together. But anyway, he's together. He stands. You know, that's a good thing. And I had my I think this is an Adam head, and I used a green wig on him. So there's his face. This was hard. I still have to put together a cocoa one, and my fingers really hurt. And actually, even though I did find the legs difficult and they even look a little funky right now, this thing is upsetting me that I got it stuck on the stand and now I can't put it in the port. And it was very difficult to line up the port. In the tutorial, they also suggested like putting like a tool in the abdomen to keep the spine braced so it doesn't push away as you're pushing into it. I didn't do that, so I'm gonna have to try to do that and also get this part and then put it back together so that he can be all together and I can use him as he's intended to be. But at least he's together now, so yay. And he's naked, but you know, whatever, he doesn't mind because it's fine. And poor CJ is here in pieces because I was tearing him apart trying to make sure I did everything how Culture Japan puts it all together. So he was my example. But anyway, this is my video. Thanks for watching. This is definitely not a tutorial. This is more just me struggling along and talking myself through it. So thanks for watching. I hope that you guys had a good time. If nothing else, just seeing what I'm going through and avoiding those pitfalls, because this is definitely not a helpful video. It's more like a what not to do video type thing. But anyway, I'm going to do a cocoa one. I don't think I'm going to record that one though. So as you can tell, my light has changed quite a bit. I started this probably like Well, I think I started it at 2 in the afternoon, this recording, and it is now 8. I paused it a ton of times to chop it out, so this is only about 45 minutes going on. But I've been at this for like 6 hours. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, everyone.